You're sitting on the couch and realize you need to grab something from the bedroom. You get up with absolute clarity, walk down the hall, cross the threshold, and suddenly, you stop dead in your tracks. Your mind is blank. You stand there in the center of the room, scanning the furniture, trying to reverse engineer the thought that brought you there. It feels like someone just unplugged the connection between your intention and your brain, leaving behind nothing but mental static. This sudden onset of transient forgetfulness is a documented psychological phenomenon. It happens across all age groups, to healthy teenagers and even to elite memory champions. The trigger for this memory lapse is surprisingly specific. A physical doorway possesses a unique power to wipe your immediate memory clean, a phenomenon researchers have spent decades mapping. The doorway effect is an aggressive resource management tool. Your brain is actively optimizing its limited working memory by deleting the data of your previous environment to ensure total focus on the new one. The human cognitive system operates with a strictly limited workspace. At any given moment, your immediate working memory can only actively hold on to about 5 to 9 distinct pieces of information. Your brain manages this limitation by acting like a film editor. It refuses to record life as one continuous shot, relying instead on event segmentation theory to slice the sensory stream into manageable, discrete mental chapters. This editor uses physical architecture as a guide for where to make the cuts. When you move from a living room into a kitchen, your brain identifies that threshold as an event boundary, signaling the end of one scene and the beginning of another. Crossing that threshold triggers an irreversible command to compartmentalize. The brain takes the active event model, the context of the room you just left, and files it away into long-term storage. It then flushes the contents of your immediate working memory to prepare for the novel sensory details of your destination. This compartmentalization forces the mind to prioritize immediate survival and focus in the current space over the intentions held in the previous one. Psychologist Gabriel Radvansky and his colleagues at the University of Notre Dame mapped the specific mechanics of this boundary-induced forgetting. In a 2006 study, researchers designed a virtual reality environment where subjects navigated a multi-room space. The task required subjects to pick up an object from one table and carry it to another to exchange it, with researchers periodically testing their memory of the item they were holding. To isolate the cause of memory loss, the researchers established a baseline. In the control condition, participants carry their object across a single, large room to reach the next table. In the variable condition, the parameters remained identical, the same physical distance and the same amount of travel time. The only difference was that the path required participants to pass through a doorway into a separate room. The results showed a stark contrast. Memory performance plummeted significantly only when subjects crossed through the doorway. Walking an identical distance within a single space kept their memory intact. These experiments proved distance and time do not degrade short-term memory in these scenarios. Instead, the environmental boundary itself acts as a hard reset command. This reset command is conditional. In 2021, researchers at Bond University discovered that when subjects move through visually identical virtual rooms under relaxed conditions, the doorway effect sometimes fails to trigger. They identified the missing ingredient as cognitive load. By forcing subjects to perform a difficult backward counting task while navigating, the researchers caused the doorway effect to reappear. This mirrors daily life, where we are rarely focused on a single task. When our minds are distracted by multitasking or deep thought, our fragile working memory becomes highly susceptible to environmental interference. The doorway effect strikes most violently when the brain is running at maximum capacity, using spatial transitions to clear the cache of an overloaded system. This mechanism of spatial updating extends to virtual environments, where the event boundaries are constructed from pixels rather than wood. Minimizing an application, switching a browser tab, or unlocking your smartphone triggers the exact same cognitive reset as walking into a new room. Your brain treats these digital transitions as spatial thresholds. Every transition between digital interfaces imposes a massive energy tax on your prefrontal cortex. In milliseconds, your brain must disengage from its active mental model, process the novel layout of the new application, and construct an entirely fresh cognitive framework. Modern smartphones function as an endless hallway of doors, forcing the mind into a continuous state of context switching. This constant model updating leads to the brain drain effect, where your original intentions are auto-deleted to make room for the flood of new interface elements. You can bypass this automatic archive command by creating a physical bridge across the event boundary. Carrying an object related to your task provides a tactile anchor that keeps your goal in the active event model. Mental rehearsal provides a second solution. Speaking your intention out loud as you cross a threshold forces the working memory to lock that data into the new event model, preventing the archive command from clearing it. Standing confused in the kitchen is evidence of your brain's biological machinery at work. This temporary amnesia reveals a sophisticated system performing millions of background calculations to optimize focus and keep your current perception uncluttered. Your brain hasn't failed, it has simply turned the page.